Good evening, everyone. This is the meeting of March the 12th. His worship is outside the country this week, so I replace him for this meeting.
Lingual people in the room. There are translation devices in the back, so please feel free to pick one up for the meeting.
The meeting is called to order. We shall begin with the opening word. Dear colleagues, have the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I would like to confirm that we have a quorum. Everyone is here, yes. Any conflict of interest to be declared among the councillors? Conflict of interest? I would like to have a motion to adopt the agenda. Moved by Councillor Cormier, seconded by Councillor Belido. All those in favor say aye. Contrary-minded nay. Carried. Now, the presentations, inquiries, and petitions. Tonight, we don't have the RCMP with us, so it'll be for another meeting. If there are any members who would like to make a comment or bring anything for the RCMP, give it to Stefan, and he will make sure that they are given to the RCMP. We're now at item 8, which is a question period by the members of the public. Any question from the public? Yes, sir?
Just wondering if anybody on council could just answer a question in regards to bylaw enforcement resources. Does anybody know if Dieppe will continue to send our bylaw enforcement resources to rural communities in exchange for revenue this season?
Pourrais-tu prendre la réponse?
Hi, Mr. McBurney. The answer is yes. We will continue to go everywhere in the city.
Okay. Is there anybody at council that would be able to indicate to me what percentage of my taxes contribute to the salary of bylaw enforcement? Or is it are the taxes kind of divvied up between all departments, or?
You want to take that?
I'm sorry, Mr. McBurney. I don't have the answer right now.
Okay, perhaps you can follow up with me.
Yeah. Tomorrow you will have the exact numbers.
Okay, thank you. One other final question, just who here on council actually has children?
Pardon?
Who here on council has children? Okay, so I know that Mr. Simard has been made aware that my husband and I are currently in the process of adoption. We're now 4 years into adoption. We're at the process where we have social development visiting our home to ensure that it's a safe environment. Due to the circumstances of our situation that we're faced with now on Bayview Court, it could potentially affect the decision of social development to grant us the opportunity to have a child. So tonight I'm asking for a commitment from council. And I know that Mr. Simard, you've been very active in my cause, but this has gone beyond illegal burning, and it's gone beyond unsightly premises. For me not to feel safe in my home, and for me to have my husband want to move from a home that we've built together, all because of the situation that we're all well aware of, to me, it's not fair. And again, I thank you for your time, but I sincerely hope that this situation doesn't have a negative impact on the decision for me to have that privilege to give a child a second chance. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I guess I'll comment by first of all saying that we're well aware of the situation. We have to work within the bounds of our legal capability. It's not something we can address without having to go through the legal system to address these issues. But I can assure you that we're very close to, within at least the next 30 days, for doing something extremely concrete to try and address the situation. It's not to our advantage or to your advantage to see this thing go on and on, but the law only permits us to do certain things at certain times, and we will be acting as soon as we possibly can, and hopefully within the next 30 days or so, we should be in a position to act. So hang in there. Don't give up on us. We're trying our best to address the situation, but as you can understand, all the bylaws and et cetera are required to be looked at through legal eyes, and it's just impossible for us to take action without having advice from our legal staff or our legal advisors, et cetera. But rest assured, we'll try and do our best, and there isn't anybody on this council that's not aware of the situation and is concerned about it. Every meeting, we are talking about it.
We're forever grateful for Mr. Simard's participation and keeping the lines of communication open. And I think that and I'll publicly apologize for my behavior last council meeting.
No, you don't have to apologize.
But to be constantly made to feel, Ted, that
we're talking about a situation that you're personally affected by, and I don't think that it requires an apology. So just stay with us, hang in there. We'll be addressing this very soon.
I will put my faith in City Council that the situation, to the best of your ability, will be seen through, and that's all we can ask.
Okay.
But I do, and I will reserve the right to continue
Absolutely.
to come to some resolution in this situation, because it's unnecessary. So I do, my husband and I thank you so much for your understanding tonight.
Thank you.
Means a lot. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Est-ce qu'on peut procéder?
Can we proceed to the adoption of the minutes of the last meeting that were held on February 26? A motion, please. Move and seconded. Mr. Thibodeau seconded. Move and seconded by Mrs. Any question? All those in favor say aye. Contrary minded, nay. Carried. The minutes are adopted. Number 10, motion and nomination 10.1 administration. 10.1.1 inter-municipal agreement, Bobasa S Rural Community Bylaw Enforcement. Mr. Simard, thank you. Deputy Mayor, on April the 12th, 2007, the city of Dieppe signed an agreement with Bobasa S. It was a pilot project of 1 year where Dieppe would supply an enforcement officer for the bylaw to Bobasa S. After a year, the Bobasa S is happy with the results, so we have asked to sign a new agreement. This new agreement costs nothing to the city of Dieppe for a 5-year period. Dieppe will charge Bobasa the salary and the traveling and the administration rate to Bobasa. Mr. Thibodeau, would you read the motion or the resolution? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. That council authorized the mayor and chief administrative officer to sign the service agreement pertaining to bylaw enforcement for Beaubassin as rural community by officers provided by the city of Dieppe. I so move. Seconded by Councilor Cormier. Any question? No question. All those in favor say aye. Contrary-minded, nay. Carried. Next item, culture, leisure, purchase, pool, platform, lift, aquatic, and sports center. I think we have a video to show. We would ask the technicians to please play the video. Pool. Thank you, Deputy Mayor, members of council. So there's a saying, an image is worth 1,000 miles. I want to show you a video of the equipment that we are planning to purchase. We made a request to have the accessibility fund from the federal government, and we obtained a subsidy to pay 2/3 of the cost of the purchase of this equipment, a platform. It's a platform that will be very useful at the aquarium and sport center. It will be helpful not only for these people with reduced possibility, but this will allow everybody and independence of the people. The way it functions, they have a bracelet. They're independent. They don't need any assistance. It will be unique. Will be the first aquatic center in New-Brunswick. There's only another one in Atlantic. It's a piece of equipment that was developed for the Paralympic Games of 2012 in London. It's unique in nature. It will make accessibility to our pool much better than what we have now. It's an equipment that can move around. We can displace it. We can install it at 2 places for 2 different basin or pool. So this is the second. There. So that's it. So that's the equipment that we are proposing to purchase. Mr. Cormier, Councilor Cormier, if you would read. That council. That council authorized the purchase of the pool platform lift for the aquatic and sports center from Nationwide Commercial Aquatics Life in the amount of $55,687 plus HST, and further that the expense be defrayed from account number 3-3-20-12-7901 General Capital Budget General Equipment Purchase. That the council authorize the following budget transfers: $10,000 from account number 1-2-70-80-3005, general operating budget public lands, to account number 1-2-85-98-5960, general operating budget capital expenses, $9,317 from account number 1-2-70-76-2925, general operating budget, material and equipment, aquatic and sports center, to account number 1-2-85-98-55960, general operating budget, capital expenses. I so move. And seconded by Councilor Brito. Any question? Councillor Thibodeau? No. I wanted to second it, but it's been seconded. That's fine. Councillor Ella? Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Assistant Manager, Mr. Bijou. What is the number of special need individuals that visit our pool? Does the demand come from a certain group or what? And second thing is, if it stops working, we're the only one to have it. The company that is selling it to us, where are they from? Can they fix it quickly? And it's in partnership with another level of government that will take responsibility for it. I agree, but it's just I'm in agreement. Nevertheless, just wondering. Thank you. It's a good question. I can give you much information. As for the request for the special need persons, we have customers, regular clients, and we have an important growth as to the swimming courses for young people with special need. We have 33 young people. It's one-on-one. We started this 6 years ago, and there is a growth. These are people that come to the pool once a week, not always with physical need, but nevertheless some youth will take advantage. In my comment earlier, we have a clientele that use the aquatic center for the program focused to 55 years and older. We have 100 participants who come on a regular basis every week, and that will be used by these people. And this is without considering the people from the schools, because we have a center that is completely accessible. When we talk about we have a change table, a change room inside the change room. We have a shower and everything else. We have a lift, but it's not ideal, and this brings another dynamic. It's completely independent, and it's certainly a very high quality as to the maintenance, the second, or the guarantee, I should say, not maintenance, but Nation Aquatic is a national company, but they have a representative in Halifax. It's from Halifax that the maintenance or the repair are being done. It's $3,000 a year for this equipment. It will be included in the budget, but it must be inspected every 6 months. It's not as if it's an equipment that we neglect, and but there will be maintenance and inspection every 6 months. Councillor Brideau. Deputy Mayor, Mr. Bijou, I'm happy that this motion has become reality tonight, because 3 weeks ago, I have a friend who's in a wheelchair since birth, and he asked me the question in Dieppe. He asked me, do we have a chair accessible building? I didn't know. I don't go to the pool often, but I'm happy that this is becoming reality tonight, because at least other people, like you just said, that need it and could use it. So if we could call it a chair or a lift. We have one presently. It's of a completely different quality, but it takes sometimes to bring it on the side of the pool and to make it functional. And it's not something that's always on the side of the pool. This one will be always available for the people at all time. Any other question? Did we read it? Yes. And No. All those in favor say aye. Contrary minded, nay. Carried. An explanation, Deputy Mayor. The amount of the subsidy that was granted, $38,756. Next item, purchase acceptance, land purchase portion. Yes, it's the purchase of a piece of land that is between the Duaro House and Satosam to allow the development of a trail between the two. The Department of Community, Leisure and Culture has an agreement with the owner of the land, and we recommend to divide the purchase for that parcel of land. Council authorized the purchase of a portion of parcel of land identified under PID 702222492 and located at 1144 Amiro Street. And the cost of $1,000 plus professional fees, and further authorized expense to be deferred from account 3-3-30-12-7605, general capital budget, heritage house renovation. I so move, Deputy Mayor. Seconded by Mrs. Arsenault. Any question? No question. All those in favor say aye. Contrary minded, nay. Carried. Next item, it's 10.3.1, acceptance, the PAC recommendation concerning rezoning application. Could we have someone to explain? I'll ask Andre Frenet to please come forward and explain this one. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. As you know, we've had a public hearing dealing with this. It's for a future widening of a nursing home at the same property that was mentioned earlier. Since we don't have an immediate construction, it's for the future, we will apply the terms and conditions dealing with this project. Following the report that you received following public hearing, we went to ask the opinion from the Planning Advisory Commission. It was Section 86 when we brought the recommendation in January of this year. And the article is now 59. That's the difference. But as for the recommendation, the staff, but also the staff of the Planning Advisory Commission have brought forward the recommendations. They will apply. It's entitled the zoning bylaw as of, and next to this resolution on Appendix A, the material for a future B. It goes well with the existing building. Without that, we have the an older building, and since it will be well seen, we want the colors to go well with the building. That the maximum height be 9 meters and the width 11 meter, 2 floor, and in the center we have 1 floor. We want to keep the same thing, and we don't want to allow a building higher than 2 stories unless for contrary recommendation the development be undertaken pursuant to the bylaws that exist now. It's a condition that goes without saying, but we never know when they will come to us with a request to expand. But at that time, we'll have to respect the requirements that exist within the bylaws. That's the recommendation from the PAC, from the Planning Advisory Commission. Councillor Brideau. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. That Council accept the recommendation made on February 21st, 2018 by the Planning Advisory Committee concerning an amendment to the zoning map, zoning bylaw relating to a property identified under PID 70222492 in order to permit the development of a nursing home, and that Council accept also that the said application be subject to Article 59 of the Community Planning Act following term and condition that the development be carried out in general conformity with the requirement outlined on the site plan entitled Plan de Site Rezoning Bylaws Z-10 2017-11 dated February the 21st, 2011, attached to this resolution under Appendix A, that the color of the materials and the architectural style of the future expansion of the nursing blend well with the building, that the maximum height of the building be 9 meters and the maximum height of roof peak be 11 meters and 2 floors, and unless otherwise indicated in the condition identified above, that the development be carried out in compliance with existing municipal bylaw. I so move. And seconded by Councilor Thibodeau. Any question? No question? All those in favor say aye. Contrary minded? Carried. Next item, municipal bylaws. Zoning bylaw Z-10 2017-1. Councilor Thibodeau, would you read first reading by title? By title only. Once I open your mic. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Bylaw number Z-10 bracket 2017-1, a bylaw to amend the City of Dieppe zoning bylaw. I move. First reading by title only. Moved by Councilor Thibodeau, seconded by Councilor Brideau. Any question? No question? Carried. Second reading. Councilor Thibodeau. Did we vote? No. We didn't vote. All those in favor say aye. Contrary minded, nay. Carried. Sorry. I go too fast. Second reading. Bylaw number Z-10 bracket 2017-1. A bylaw to amend the City of Dieppe zoning bylaw. I so move. It's second reading by title only. Seconded by Councilor Brideau. All those in favor say aye. Contrary minded. Carried. Item 12, notice of motion. Is there any notice of motion? No? Number 13, inquiries, and we'll start with Councilor Ala. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. We've had a racket tournament, the 34th racket tournament on the weekend. We had 106 teams in our region. We have over 60 teams coming from outside, 97 games. I want to congratulate all the volunteers who worked very hard this weekend to have a very nice activity. I also want to mention the excellent work of our employees from the City of Dieppe. It's unreal. The employees from the arena were fantastic. The employees from the canteen were great. The employees helped us very much. They were very good. They were there all the time. And I've been told so many times how the arena was clean. That is really something nice to see. And I want to continue. I want to congratulate everybody who participated. The young people were so happy. Today, there was an announcement of $600,000 for the shelter for women. The federal government found some money within the infrastructure to underline the work of Mrs. Martin Savoy on the committee, Madame Thibodeau, Madame Doiron, and others. It's always nice to see a nice infrastructure for a region, and we really need. Thank you to the Shelter for Women. Councillor Arsenault, thank you, Deputy Mayor. I must say that I'm very proud of women, including those you just mentioned. But today, I want to mention Mrs. Lucky, who is head of the RCMP in Canada. I'm so proud that I brag about it. I just wanted to say happy birthday, St. Patrick Day. We will have a meeting before St. Patrick. A great thank you and celebrate well. Happy St. Pat. Councillor Thibodeau, thank you, Deputy Mayor. I have one thing I want to say. I noted recently on Cousteau Street, the cars park on both sides, and there's only enough room for one car to go through. Shouldn't there be parking on one side only and prohibit parking on the other side? Especially in the winter when it's slippery and full of snow. Deputy Mayor, thank you. We received some complaints. The clerk's office was involved. We had difficulties with them to look at the situation. We decided not to make any change. It doesn't mean we can't look at the situation again to see if something different could be done. Well, I would advise you to do it. Really, in the winter, when it's full of snow and slippery, it's dangerous. I'll make note of it. That's all. Thank you. Councillor Brideau. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I would like, my colleague Thibodeau just mentioned Cousteau Street. I would like to draw your attention to the Gaspé Street. The lower part of Gaspé Street, some cars are parked on both sides, and it's in a curve, not a curve, but on a knoll. It goes uphill. It's become somewhat dangerous, especially at this time of the year where it's slippery. The cars have to stop to let the cars go either side of the street. Well, I think to myself there will be some very dangerous scratching or collision. We should look at it. Maybe there should be parking on one side only, since there is a sidewalk only on one side. If I go up the hill, it would be on the left side. On the right side, there's no sidewalk, but it could possibly be designated for parking instead of having it on both sides, and to narrow down that street. That's it. I don't have anything else. Any comments? We are taking note, and we'll look at it. We certainly will. Thank you very much. Councillor Cormier. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I'd like to thank the volunteer, our employees, but I would like to congratulate the two-legged teams from Dieppe, age 14 and 12, who won some gold medals. Congratulations to all these people. Thank you very much. I know we ask a lot of questions, but I have a question concerning a discussion that we had in September, I believe, concerning the corner of Melanson Street versus Fox Creek Street, what we were going to do for left-hand turn. He said a study was to be undertaken to see what was a priority. Do you have an answer tonight? I don't have an answer tonight, but we've hired a consultant to start looking at it, and we want to repeat a count. It'll take some time before we have an answer, but we are working on it, I can assure you. No one else has question for tonight? Thank you very much, everyone. The meeting is adjourned. Good night, good evening.